What up, IDS Mob? Welcome to the Introvert Dating Success Show. I'm your host, HarryWilmington. If you're watching this on the video, you know that I have a guest with me today. Her name is Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carter. I am very happy to be here, and I'm ready to dive in and get into those profiles.
Yeah, so today, guys, we're going to go over some dating profiles. Now, these are profiles that I actually found on Hinge, made by guys who are trying to attract women. And I've talked about the subject before, but it's nice to actually have a woman here that's going to be able to look at the profiles that I'm going to show and then have her point out what works for her, what doesn't work for her, the various prompts that they put on there too, so you guys can get an idea of what you should be putting out there that women are looking at. Because you need to know how they're reacting to when they see you and what's making them decide to swipe right or swipe left.
100%. And I am an active online dater.
So what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to show Michelle the profiles and she's going to react to them accordingly. So let's go ahead and get to that first profile. You ready?
Ready.
All right, here we go. First picture, we see the Redskins hat, Redskins champions, he's holding a drink. So, and he's got the little thing at the bottom, says the secret to getting to know me is champagne.
All right.
So, what do you think, just based on this first picture that you're seeing, what are your thoughts?
I actually really like his profile picture. The only thing that I would say, like maybe start a profile picture without a hat or any like sunglasses so that we can actually see all of you. But it's a really good picture of him. You can see him clearly. He's got it's like a really good picture, like in contrast. He's got a great face. It's not offensive in any kind of way. So like immediately, like when I saw him, I was like, oh, okay, he's got a very nice face. I can see what he looks like. And so I want to know more. So looking down, I'm like, secret to getting to know me is champagne. And I'm like, all right, let's definitely get to know you a little bit more. Who doesn't like a little champagne? So yeah, he has a profile that I would like to explore a little bit more.
Okay. Well, we're definitely going to scroll through some more of his pictures here, but like how important is that first picture when you're looking through the profiles and determining if you're going to stay on and continue to look at other pictures?
Gotcha. So important. So the first picture, I just want to see you. I don't want to see a group of you with other people because that's so much work. I don't want to find out like 5 photos down which one of you is in the group. Yeah. I also want to see all of you. So that's why I said like, hey, maybe not a hat. Or sunglasses because I want to see your face. And then I also don't like anything offensive in any profile picture. And that includes the elusive dick pics.
Did you put those on profiles? Is that allowed?
That is allowed. And people,
really?
And I've seen so many and it is just so off-putting.
On the app, I had no idea.
So off-putting. I'm like, don't ever put that on your profile. Don't ever. Like even if you guys are talking, like ask before sending something like that. There's no like political agenda. There's no religious agenda. There's no like, it's just those kind of topics you discuss when you get to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah,
so
the first date itself.
Exactly. Yeah. That's not like the first thing that you shoved down somebody's throat.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with those things. It's just like when you're first seeing somebody for the first time, that's not probably the topic you need to talk about.
Definitely.
You just want to get to know the person first and foremost, and then you guys dive into deeper conversation, deeper topics. Yeah. So yes.
All right, let's continue on with his profile here.
Yes.
We got another picture. He's cropped to the side, and then we have some of his stuff down here. So he's a student. He's in California. He's spiritual, and he's from New Orleans.
All right, like he's pretty great profile. Honestly, like I see that he put another picture of him wearing a hat. I'm like, great. I still don't know what the top of your head looks like.
So the hat's really an issue in terms of what makes you be apprehensive about the hat?
The hat, I mean, like, it's like if I was, if I was wearing sunglasses the whole entire time in my pictures. You're like, okay, great. You look great in sunglasses. That's wonderful. He looks great in hats. And I'm like, that's wonderful. But I want to see what's going on because I eventually will have to see these things if I meet you in person or if I even start dating you. So why wouldn't you just show me what's going on under that hat? So take off the hat.
She needs to know what's under the hat.
I need to know what's under the hat. And then also I was like, this is great. Another profile picture of him. I also like after I see the first initial profile picture, I'm like, maybe put a picture of you up with a group of people or full body picture because I want to see like every bit of you after the initial photo. And I also want to see like you with a group of friends because if you put a picture of you with a group of friends after that initial picture, it says like, hey, I'm sociable. I have friends.
Interesting.
I'm not like opposed to like getting to know other people.
Okay.
So it kind of gives you the idea that you are likable or you're relatable. So that's why I'm like, maybe a group of friends. It doesn't even have to be like a large group. It could just be you and your best friend or even you with your pet. Honestly, from a person who loves animals, I love a good dog pic. I love a good cat pic. Animals, I honestly don't mind seeing like snake or birds, but probably keep the exotic animals off off your profile. Because not a lot of people are like me. They're like, if I see you have a pet tarantula, it's a no-go.
That's a no-go on the spiders, guys.
No-go on the spiders. But like dog, cat, it means that you could be a great companion. You've got like the skills to like relate to other beings, other animals. So it's a sign that means that you could be a good partner.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So now we got our first hatless one with the glasses on.
Yes.
But yeah.
I mean, he put sunglasses on. I already know what his face looks like. Doesn't bother me at all. He looks great in sunglasses as well. Finally has no hat on. He's got a great head. He is like a shaved head. There's nothing wrong. Honestly, bald, full-length hair, curly hair, fro. I am like, let us just see it. I love all of it. And you get like, and this picture is like more full body. You don't see his feet, but like you see past his head to his knees. And I'm like, okay, this guy has a good physique. He looks like he keeps up with his health. And honestly, for me, I don't mind a dad bod. I'm not a super picky person. There are a lot of people out there that are super picky. And that's why I say full body shot so everybody knows what they're working with.
Yeah.
It's just like for women. Men love seeing a full body shot.
Yes, we want to know what we're getting. That is very true.
Exactly. So I'm like, put it out there. Like if somebody doesn't like your full body, you don't have to waste your time with that person. You don't have to keep hiding behind that camera and be like, well, she'll eventually see me when she meets me, but personality first. And I'm like, well, why would you want to hide who you are to the people that you want to meet?
Very true.
So go ahead, put up a full body shot. If like that person doesn't swipe you, then move on to the next one.
Now, also, how do you feel about like, notice he's in front of a thing with like water and boats. Like, what does that tell you, if anything, about his personality or the kind of person he would be to date?
Okay, so like he's very like, somber in this picture. There's nothing really like great that he's doing in this photo. He's not like doing a crazy shot or anything, but it does look like he's traveling. So it looks like he likes to go on an adventure, whether that be on a hike, whether that means like he likes to go boating or he likes to go to different places. That could be like going up north to like a national forest or all the way over to Greece. But it looks like he likes to travel, and that is something personally I like to do. I know a lot of people like to travel.
Yeah. And it's funny because most of the dating profiles that I see for women always have some kind of, I went here, I went there. But it's like, it's good to know. So for guys, women want to know that you're going to be doing stuff. And this is a great way to show that you're going to actually get out there and be active with them.
Yes, definitely. I like, whether it be like going out to try new foods, like the things that you like to do, we want to know about that because like, hey, we probably have something in common, like traveling, trying foods, trying pottery classes, going ice skating, going like bungee jumping. I want to know what you like doing because I'm like, hey, I might like that too, or I want to try that because you have experience in it. And I'm like, oh, okay, like tell me more. Tell me all the things.
You have like a guide to take you on these new adventures and stuff.
Exactly. Someone who's experienced, it makes it less terrifying, a little less anxiety driven. And then he also has a comment down here, the key to my heart is seafood. Yes.
Nice.
I will.
Under the picture with the boats.
Yes.
Nice, right?
It's a rare breed. It is a rare breed of a person who doesn't like food. I have only met one person my entire life that didn't like food.
And they're dead now.
And I was like, when it was a woman, she told me that. I was like, you are missing out on life, but respect your choice. Respect your choice. But I love hearing about food. I love people who love trying new types of food. I love seafood. I am a meat eater. Also, like on your profile, if you are you have a certain kind of diet, specifically if you're like a vegan, a vegetarian, or like I would say like if you have any health concerns that about food, keep that to yourself for a moment, for the time being. That's like a more conversation of getting to know somebody else, like planning things to do. But when it comes to like being a vegan or a vegetarian, go ahead and let people know that like this is a part of you that you are you know about yourself and you're not willing to cave for anybody about that. And that's okay. Honestly, I have dated vegans. I've dated vegetarians. I eat meat.
It's like not pushing an agenda. Like you have to do what I do because I do this.
Exactly.
Like,
They're like, that's ridiculous. Like respect people's boundaries, respect their choices. We just want to know. That's about it. Yep. So, I like seafood. This dude is in front of like a really beautiful, like, what is it? Port. It looks like a port and some mountains. I want to know more. So I continue scrolling.
So notice what she said. Based on this picture, she wants to know more. I tell you guys, it's very important to put like picture prompts in there, or in your when you're doing the little prompts that they have you to type up, to put stuff there that's going to make women intrigued to want to actually like reach out to you and inquire further.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like when you see a picture of a girl on their profile and they're like standing on top of a mountain, just like full arms out, and they've got sunglasses on. You're just like, when you see that, you're like, where are you? And also, do you want to do that again? Do you want to do that with me? Or something like that. Like those kind of things. You want to see those things on profiles. Like you don't want to see like a whole page of selfies.
Oh my God. And there'll definitely some of those in this pile, but we'll get to that in a second.
All right. Oh boy.
So got one of these sitting there, just kind of in a chair.
All right. This is actually a very different photo from the photos that he's had previously.
And his hair looks different too,
I was going to say, he's got hair, it looks like it's like kind of like dreads. He's got facial hair in this picture, a nice good tee going on. You can kind of see his outfit, which is kind of like casual yet like very relaxed. Like what is that like?
He's just kind of like chilling, like it's just like it's almost like he's at a barbecue, but there's no barbecue there.
Yeah, or like on a rooftop bar, because there's some buildings, some really beautiful exotic looking buildings behind or in front of him, and he's kind of turned to the side, looking back at the camera a little bit. And honestly, it looks like he's a very relaxed person. So from all of the pictures that I've seen so far, he seems like he's a very chill guy. It also makes me think, I'm like, okay, so he might be a little reserved. He might be a little more of an introvert. All of his photos were just him. But somebody's taking these pictures, unless he's got a tripod.
A tripod, a timer. That's
exactly.
all you need. Hey.
So it looks like he loves the company of like maybe a fair few. Like he doesn't need to be surrounded by a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I am also a very optimistic person, so I'm going to see the best in people's profiles instead of just being like, well, he had nobody in his picture, nobody likes him.
Right.
No. It just looks like he's like a very chill guy. So like, talking to him, like if I were to reach out and talk to him, I would mention things like he likes seafood. I'll be like, okay, what restaurants have you gone to? I'd like to like get to know that, like maybe experience it with you. He also had that travel picture. I'd be like, oh, you like traveling? Or I'd just mention and be like, oh, I saw this picture of you somewhere. It looks cool. Where are you? And then lead forward with that. Always asking like open-ended questions, because like if I ask yes or no questions,
that's where we get stuck.
That's the dead of the conversation. Like ask those open-ended questions so I get to know who you are and not have to like have you like tiptoe around it, like if it's like a time bomb or anything like that.
Yes.
And he also mentioned I go crazy for sports, NFL and NBA. Love that. That's a hobby right there. I want to know your hobbies. So he loves NFL and NBA. I'm gonna be like, okay, what teams do you support? Like, when it's game season, do you like to go out to like a dive bar, or do you like to go to the games? Do you like to have like a cookout with your friends when the games are on? Do you host? Do you like to go? Do you like to play games when these games are on? Because of course, like, I like, this is something that you like to do, and I would like to share whatever you like to do with these as well. And me personally, I love sports. I find them so much fun. I am actually a big fan of NFL, so I would go ahead and reach out with that little tidbit and be like, hey, so what team do you love?
Yeah.
And then if we have rival teams, that's kind of like a fun little spot for witty banter. But respect the person's team. Like, don't shame another person because of like what they choose. Like, come on, the world's hard enough as is. Like, let's have a little bit of fun.
Sure.
So yeah, like this guy seems like he would be a lot of fun to get to know. So I would definitely reach out to him. Well, I would swipe yes, first and foremost. And then if we were a match and he, and like I had the option to go ahead and type in something, I'd say, hey, I'd like to get to know you a little bit more, not specifically that phrase. Or
right.
Yeah.
Start asking questions.
Start asking questions, yes.
And notice also, like, his prompts aren't really that long.
Oh.
So I tell you guys, you don't need to type like some guys on like other sites outside of Hinge like to type like these full on like 8-sentence bios and novels, and it's like you actually, less is more. If you mention stuff, you mention it enough to where it intrigues her, to where, because in an ideal situation, like for you guys that are typically reaching out, I found it's easier to put stuff in your profile that makes them want to reach out to you, because if it's incoming, if it's coming to you, they're not going to go away.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to put just enough out there, but not explain so much so they can ask you questions. As they're asking you questions, it's going to make them intrigued and start building that attraction that they're going to be feeling for you, just even in texting and typing to you.
Oh my gosh, 100%. You do not have to put out like a full novel of your life story. Just take the time and do it, because honestly, if you don't want to take the time, no one else is going to want to take the time, because you don't care that much about yourself. Why should we? Why should we be the ones to reach out and discover who you are when you won't even take the time to do it for you?
Right.
So just do it. Like it'll take you like maybe a good 30 minutes. Yes, that's the 30 minutes of your life that you could be like playing a game or like walking around or working out. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you are on these dating apps for a reason.
Treat it like a job, people. Like it's,
Yes.
it's your resume. So put out the best resume you can for your
Yes.
bio.
For your bio, just
Figure it out.
exactly, because somebody wants to get to know you. Just give them that choice, that option, that opportunity.
Yeah. So down
Oh.
here, he's just typed out stuff. So there's no pictures of him at this
Okay.
point. The last two pictures are just him typing out, I guess, some mantras that he has. So podcast
Yes.
purposes, the first one says, those who leave
Yeah.
everything in God's hands will eventually see God's hands in everything. And then the one after that, instead of
Yeah.
a picture, he has the word, stop trying to be everyone's hero and just work on yourself.
So it looks like he obviously the first one is religious based. It could be spiritual. It could be that he does like he is part of like a religious sector. That's totally fine. Honestly, like he believes in a God. And I don't have anything against anybody who is religious or spiritual or not, or people who are completely agnostic or atheist. No problem against that.
Yeah.
You're putting it out there because that's a piece of who you are and you want people to know that. And honestly, I'm like, it means that you have strong belief systems. It means you believe in faith. And I think that's beautiful. Honestly, I when I see something like this, I'm like, okay, this is something that he really believes in, and I have nothing against it. And I also would like to know a little bit more about what he does believe in specifically. And then the second one is, of course, like the stop trying to be everyone's hero and just work on yourself. And I'm like, 100%. I'm sorry, but if you got to work on yourself first, you got to have that self-love first. Self-love, self-health is so important. I know a lot of people get it confused with being conceited or narcissistic. No, there are boundaries, of course, but you've got to be able to openly say, hey, I love who I am. I'm not perfect. There's always something I can improve on about myself, but I'm working on myself, and I love who I am as a human being, because if you love who you are, other people will be wanting to love who you are as well. I mean, if you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? And how can someone want to love you when you won't even accept the love for yourself? So I love that. So honestly, these 2 points, they're not offensive. They're something that he believes in, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I would definitely match with this guy.
And also importantly, like I said, Hinge gives you the option of 6 pictures, but his first 4 pictures were so strong, he can use these last 2 spaces in any other capacity that he wants to, because he's already made such a good impression on her just based on the way that his pictures were, the fact that he was in frame, he showed a full body, he showed he was out doing stuff. So it's already garnered the interest to where if he wants to add some things that are a little bit more deep in tone, but not directed at any girl specifically, but just like talking about just his life philosophies, then that can be a thing that can also be attractive.
Yeah. Yep. So I would definitely swipe right.
All right. You got to swipe right. Awesome.